production and break-even analysis. So today we're talking about economies of scale. So for production, firms, businesses, they have to produce. So whatever they need to produce, they think about the cost of production and how to gain, advantage over cost. That means how they will be able to reduce their cost. So one of the ways to reduce cost is to try to expand your production. So when you succeeded in expanding your business, like your production line, when you are able to expand your production line, it will reduce your cost of production. So when your cost of reducing or expanding your business, you are able to enjoy a cost advantage, that is what we call economies of scale. So what is the economies of scale? I wrote, it is the cost advantage a firm has as a result of its expansion. So whenever a business expands and it's able to reduce its cost of production, then you can say that firm is enjoying economies of scale. I think it's clear. So what are the types of economies of scale we have? One, we have purchasing economies of scale or purchasing economies. What is purchasing economies of scale? As I wrote, these occurs when the business buys large numbers of components, which results in reduction in the unit cost or discount. So you expanding your business, you could expand your business in the cost of buying more components. So you used to buy 1,000 units, now you're buying 2,000, 3,000. Yeah, that is you have expanded. The cost of that product, the cost of that component would have reduced because you are buying large quantity. So if you are able to enjoy a cost advantage as a result of buying larger quantities, then that is purchasing economies of scale. Do you understand purchasing economies of scale here? The cost reduction as a result of buying large quantity of components, which could be a discount. Having a discount is a purchasing economies of scale. Okay. 2, marketing economies of scale. Here, when we talk about marketing, what we think about marketing is promoting your business, advertising your business. So when you have a cost advantage in the cost of promoting your business, then it is what marketing economies of scale or marketing economies. How can this happen? Let's say because you are a very big firm, you don't need to hire a van or a bus to do your advertisement. You have your own bus to use for advertisement. This is an advantage for you that other small firms might not have because they don't have their own bus. Do you understand? Because you have your own means of communication, because you have your own means of advertising, as a result of you being a big business, and small businesses don't have the same opportunity or advantage as you have, making you to have a competitive edge over them. That's the economies of scale. So the advantage you have as a firm to be able to advertise, to be able to promote your business that other small firms do not have is what we call marketing economies of scale. Is it clear? So look at what I wrote. I said these are several advantages large businesses have when they are marketing their products. So when they are able to market their products, there's a products here. So when they are able to market their products, because they are very large business. The third one, financial economies or financial economies of scale. What does that imply? This is the ability of firm has to raise more capital cheaply than smaller firms. This may be as a result of financial institutions considering larger firms as lower risk and seeing small firms as high risk. Because you are big, financial institutions will trust you. They will believe that you are credit worthy. So at that period of time, you might be able to get loan from them. They will consider it like you will be able to pay. So they see you as a low risk, unlike a small business, which is difficult to get or which is difficult to get a loan from financial institutions because they are considered as high risk. So the advantage you have as a big business or as a large business that makes you to be able to get a loan or that makes you to raise capital cheaply is what we call financial economies of scale. You might even be getting a low interest rate. So because banks want you to deal with them. So they want to attract you to come to them. So they could give you cheap loans, low interest rates, so that you can be part of their clients, you can be part of their customers, because they consider you as a very big business. But for a small business, they would rather give them a high interest rate on loan, so that they cannot get the loan, so that they will not be, so that they cannot, so that they won't be interested in that loan. Look at the difference here. A big business, firms will be giving them small or cheap loans, cheap interest rate or low interest rate to attract them. But for small businesses, firms will give them high interest rates to push them backward. So this is what we call financial economies of scale. Is it clear? The ability, the advantage of a big business or a big firm has to be able to raise capital cheaply than small businesses. Then we have managerial economies of scale. So this is an advantage a large firm has, which allows it to attract specialist managers that small firms do not have. If you are a big business, you can attract specialist managers. Managers would want to work with your company because they know you can afford them, they know you can pay them. But for small businesses, they are not attractive. So managers, skilled managers, specialist managers, specific managers would not want to work there. Because they may feel, oh, this company might not be able to pay me. Even if they can pay now, what about the long term? Can they continue to pay me? Is my future going to be secure there? So the advantage you have as a big business is that you can attract special skilled workers. You can attract special skilled managers to work with you. Unlike a small business, which is what we call managerial economies of scale. I think it's clear. The fifth one, technical economies of scale. The advantage large firms have to afford machines and produce larger output that smaller firms cannot afford. Because you're a large business, you can buy the expensive machines. You can, because you can afford them. But small businesses cannot. So those small businesses within your own industry that are unable to buy this machine, you have advantage over them. So that's what we call technical economies of scale. The advantage you have as a big business, which makes you to be able to pay or buy machines to increase your output that small businesses do not have. That's what we call technical economies of scale. I think it's clear. So, as a firm or as a business, if with all these things, or if during your course of expansion, you are unable to enjoy these, then there is what we call diseconomies. So, what is diseconomies of scale? Diseconomies of scale implies that as a result of your expansion, you are still incurring more costs. That's what we call diseconomies of scale. So, look at what I wrote. These are the factors that lead to an increase in the average cost of a firm despite expansion. Your firm has expanded, still you are incurring more cost. This is what we call diseconomies. So what are the causes of diseconomies? Number one, poor communication. The larger a firm becomes, the more difficulties it faces to send and receive accurate message. So when messages are not received promptly, it will lead to inefficiency. I used to have this office. This is the business I have. Now I have expanded to the old premises. So the way I communicate with my workers here has to be different from the way I communicate with the rest of the workers now. So if I am unable to manage my communication, then it becomes, my workers will become inefficient. Then I'm suffering from these economies of scale. So for large firms, it is always difficult to send and receive message accurately because you are dealing with large numbers of people. So there might be misinformation. There might be misinterpretation. So these things will affect your production, especially your production line. So if communication has become a problem because you have expanded your business, then it is what? Diseconomies of scale for poor communication. Is it clear? 2, low morale. So when we talk about low morale, what does it mean? Larger businesses tend to employ larger numbers of workers, which some might not even be recognized by the management, and they may feel not valued, which could lead to low morale and efficiency from them. the business, now this is what we have. I know each of my workers. But just imagine if I have 500 workers. I might not even see one, or I might not even see some of them for the whole year. So those that I don't see for the whole year might feel not valued. Do you understand? Those that management do not call for any recognition or whatever, they might feel that they are not valued at workplace. So these could demoralize them. This could demotivate them. And if workers are demotivated, what happens? It will lead to inefficiency, low productivity. Now that you've employed more workers for expansion, but they are not happy. So if your workers are not happy because they feel unvalued or not valued due to lack of recognition from the management or from the part of the management, it is what we call low morale and diseconomies of skill. So you've employed large workers, you've attracted them, which is managerial economies of skill, but they become unhappy. It becomes diseconomies. I think it's clear. The third one and the last one, slow decision making. It takes time before decision made by managers reach all groups of workers, and this may result to the workers not acting upon what has been decided by the manager for over a long time. So what are we saying here? Managers monitor the day out activity of the business. They give decisions. They are in charge of running the business. So now that the business has expanded, some decisions will be taken by managers that will not reach some group of workers immediately. And as a result of this, they will not be able to act upon that decision, which may lead to poor output, which might lead to inefficiency. So if this is happening, or if this occurs, then there is diseconomies. So managers are able to reach certain workers to dispatch information to them, or to dispatch or to tell them the objective of the business, as I told you. And because of that, they are unable to act upon it. Then there is economies of skill. Yes. Do you understand? So, however, there is no practical way to show that firms are experiencing these economies of skill. We can't see, there's no evidence that if you expand your business, you will suffer for these economies of skill. You know why? Because these days, firms are broken into different units, into smaller units. They have different departments. So there's a department that takes care of communication. There's a department that takes care of finance. There's a department that takes care of marketing. So as a result of this, because of their expansion, they are break down into smaller units so that they will not experience what? Diseconomies. Do you understand? So diseconomies of skill might not even happen because firms are what? They are breaking into smaller units. Do you understand? The larger you are as a business, the more you break into smaller units or different units, so that each unit will be managed by different managers. So it will not be the same manager that manages one office, will be the same manager that manages 10 offices. No. So each manager might manage it all, a manager might manage 2. So that's what we mean by breaking into smaller units. So to solve these economies of scale, larger firms have to break into what? Smaller units. If not, they will experience these economies. Is it clear? So that's why I said earlier that these days we might not even see or have a case of these economies because large firms or larger firms are breaking into smaller departments or units so as they will be able to manage their production line or their operation. Is it clear? Do you have any question about economies of scale and diseconomies of scale?